Hi folks, I'm a ruined old faggot. I've been HIV positive since 1983 and I can only say keep on, keep at it. Just give yourself a reason for living. I had quite a serious stroke 6 years ago. The crunch came when I had to leave the convalescent home. So I simply Googled gay sheltered accommodation.
Of course, when you're getting older, you're also thinking about what is going to happen you if you can't climb up to the fourth floor if there is no lift. When they were building the house, they had open doors, and I had my name put on the list. But I thought of it like, okay, right now I'm fine here in my orderly suburb, maybe in 10 years' time, 20 years' time. I got a phone call 3 or 4 years later that said, are you still interested? I came here, had a look at it, and when I came in I said, okay, when I get it, I'll take it.
Ich fühle mich wohl. Ja, also ich meine, ich finde es schon schade, also dass es keine andere lesbische Frau gibt. Ja, also hätte ich mir gern gewünscht. Aber nun ist es anders gekommen und dafür habe ich hier ein Hochbeet, ja, so und der Balkon, ne, so und ich habe sogar da einen Birnenbaum, der hat 2 Früchte und der Apfelbaum hat auch Früchte. Also was will ich denn mehr?
One of the very good things in this place that you don't have to explain about being gay, about any of these things that connected with it. And that gives you a very good feeling.
On the first night I was here, Heidi said to me, when did you come out? I said, come out? I've never been in. She said, the same as me. I knew I was a lesbian when I was 10.
I think at this very moment it's good to have this alternative, especially for elder gay people, because, for example, when they are 80 years or older, yeah, they have lived when Hitler was here after the Second World War, and many people were imprisoned because of being gay. These people, these elder people, are used to take care what they say, to whom they say, because lots of them have lost their families and their jobs and everything else, and so their lives were, sometimes they were destroyed, yeah?
Es gibt viele Lesben, die Diskriminierungserfahrungen gemacht haben. Und es gibt den Wunsch, so wie Dieter das eben gesagt hat, einen Raum zu haben, wo man einfach sein kann. Das ist, denke ich, ganz wichtig für die Frauen auch.
Ich musste das im Grunde auch verstecken vor meiner Familie. Nicht? Also ich komme aus einer Pfarrersfamilie, da konnte ich also mich nicht outen. Dann hieß es immer halt den Mund, da kommt immer nur Müll raus, so und somit habe ich nicht geredet. Ich wollte nur ein Plätzchen finden, dass ich wirklich so leben kann, wie ich eigentlich bin. Ich brauche keine Angst zu haben, dass mich die Männer überfallen. Das ist das Wichtigste.
Sometimes you need a safe space. And a safe space means a space where you don't have to declare yourself all the time. You just could be. And I think that's important for lesbians, for gays, for trans people, and just for normal people.
especially for gay men who have hidden their whole life, and then they have dementia, yeah, and suddenly they are not able to protect themselves because they don't remember to do that, and suddenly they are sitting there and speaking about their sexual orientation, their sexual identity, and they don't know how the people around them get along with it, and so that is really it's a big problem, yeah.
I feel here I don't have to be anything else that I am. I just be as I am. I like to be open and say it, and I like people who love that. It's the reason why I came here, and it's the reason I like it here.
Lutz lived, he is handicapped from birth on, yeah. His mother died when he was 7, and so he lived for 53 years in an institution for people who are disabled. Because he's gay and he wants to live with gay people, and so he wanted to move here, and he looked for this, and he wants to be here because he likes to be with gay men, yeah. Du bist gerne mit Schwulen zusammen, ne? Ja. Ja. When Lutz is happy, he's really loud, yeah. And for some of the others, it was really a problem at the very first beginning. And but then it was necessary to take it seriously because the men live here together and they decide who is the next who comes. Dieter had his stroke in 2013, and he lives here. You are here since September 2013, yeah? Yeah. And now to walk like this, it started 2 years before. Dieter, you saw, no? Rainer was living here as well, and he had similar problems to walk. Yeah. And he saw that Rainer is living in his own apartment again. Sometimes he only needs a stick or something like that, yeah, to walk. He walks without any help, yeah. But you have seen that Rainer got it, yeah, and so that encourages you.
I had staying in the bed and breakfast in Hamburg one sunny day when I was having my little salon with my friend Jan. One of our English guests said, would you like to look at my website? He himself was the owner of a site which I also use to this day, which is rather unglamorously called Squirt. Of course, if I have my locality thing adjusted on my telephone, which I do, it will show me at least 20 or 40 men who are looking for sex at this very moment. And I met this man. I said to my friend Rainer, you better get out because this fella's coming round. Because he said on his profile, I'm looking for the man who can suck cock as well as I can. And he came round and proved to me that he could. He could suck it, I could say, almost as well as a certain British and worldwide pop star of my acquaintance, whose name I am not allowed to mention. But it was not Boy George.
Very often it's a problem to get along with sexuality of elder people, yeah? Because it seems like elder people don't have any sexuality. It's a need, a human need, until you die, yeah? Because how you live your sexuality, that's completely different, yeah? Sexuality can even be lying together in the bed and hugging or whatever, yeah? There are no rules.
Sexuality has to be regarded as a normal hunger, a normal way of living for everybody, from 0 years up to 125. Sexuality is forbidden for elderly people, for disabled people. Just normal sexuality might be shown. Two kissing men are wrong. Two kissing ladies are just good friends, not lesbian, not at all. And just like that, that's just reality.
Believe it or not, you really can fall in love at 72. I had an affair with someone who worked here, with a man who I really could say was my dream man, if you like. His name was Manfred. We had a little house in the country, which we used to use at weekends. There a point arrived where I knew Manfred had a certain condition which made him very ill sometimes. And at this occasion he was very ill, so I had arranged transport to go and visit him at home in Neukölln, which I did. And I must say he was looking pretty shagged out and dreadful. The next day he rang me, and of course now I don't realise why, and said to me almost in a whisper, there may be a few things that we were working on where you might need to take a more executive role. The next day, Gabriele came in and whispered in my ear, Manfred has died, Manfred has died. He was bipolar and hung himself in his own flat. Amongst the men in what Manfred used to call his harem was both Slider and Reinder and another close friend, Helmut. So we had this wake together, and both Slider and Reinder were there. So then the three of us automatically knew each other under these rather tragic circumstances. I'll wear your underwear on my face. It's very refreshing. You should try it. I can recommend it. There is quite a little clique of us. You could call us the funeral clique. We all met at the funeral, or we became even closer friends through the funeral.
But it's not because of the funeral, it's more because that we had to, we had this time after the death of Manfred, yes, that we had to cope with this loss, and that is what we did together.
Yes.
So this is where we
exactly
somehow we met each other and needed each other immediately for the loss of this friend. What's the thing that you want to keep going?
Well, I don't think I would be very good at committing suicide, quite frankly. And I don't.
But do you want to?
I can see plenty of reasons for doing so, yes.
Plenty of reasons?
Yeah.
Tell them.
Because I don't see many reasons for living. Except, I mean, not in the long run. Society has to seriously think, why are we letting people grow so old?
Ah, such a big, heavy ass.
I knew you'd get this going.
The other side.
Oh.
Oder ich hatte mit Manfred, ja, er war mein bester Freund, fast 4 Jahre lang. Manfred habe ich beim Cruisen kennengelernt, im Park, in der Hasenheide. Ja, ich mache mir da gar keine Gedanken über das Altwerden jetzt. So, ich kann mir das auch gar nicht so vorstellen. Also ich hoffe, dass ich lange gesund bleibe, soweit, dass ich kein Pflegefall werde. Aber falls, das weiß man ja nicht, was passiert. Im Alter kann ja alles Mögliche passieren. Und auf einmal ist man dann ein Pflegefall. Also ich wüsste jetzt niemand, der mich da betreut oder hilft. Weil meine Freunde, die sind meistens älter noch als ich. Und ich habe auch schon viele Freunde verloren. Also die meisten Mitte der 80er, die an HIV gestorben sind.
Three years ago, I got quite sick, and I didn't know whether I would survive, and that gives me, that makes you think about what is going to happen to you when you're dead. I asked my friends, have you ever thought of what is going to happen to you? And they all had. And I was quite surprised, but then we thought, maybe we can do something together. There is a cemetery in Berlin that is an old cemetery with old graves, and at the time of AIDS, many of the victims were buried in there. And that means that every one of us has more or less friends who are buried there. And that's when I thought, okay, that's probably the place where I want to be. When we came here the first time, and when we were looking for a place where we could have ourselves buried, we liked this place because it was not too big. It was sort of simple and not overdone. And it was affordable too. In the beginning we were about a dozen people who were interested, and then finally 8. And you can see my headstone, and you can also see Roland's headstone on the right-hand side. And he was already a member of this group when we were not yet, when we didn't even think about marriage.
Yeah.
And I found that very reassuring.
Und für mich war es selbstverständlich, dann mitzumachen. Ja. Und ich brauchte da erst gar nicht zum Überlegen. Und ich fand es eine tolle Sache, wenn man weiß, wo man mal liegt. Und ja, ich finde schon, ich denke, es gibt viele Schwule, wo sich Gedanken machen, wo sie irgendwann mal liegen oder wo sie dann mal ihre letzte Ruhe finden. Und deswegen war das auch für uns so interessant. Also ich konnte mir nicht vorstellen, in meinem Geburtsort mal zu liegen. Und es gibt mir irgendwie ein beruhigendes Gefühl, wenn ich hierher kommen kann und weiß, dass ich hier mal neben meinem Mann liege. Das ist irgendwas Beruhigendes und was Schönes, wenn ich weiß, wo mal der letzte Ort ist für mich.
When CSD, when it actually happened in the Stonewall riots in Christopher Street in New York, and they resisted the police and resisted any kind of attack on their rights. And the Stonewall riots became an image of resistance that reverberated with gays throughout the world. And the rights that have been won for gay people since then need to be, it's like boiling a kettle, you need to keep it boiling, which is the reason we're marching today, to let the world know that gays still have equal rights with anybody, whether you're a faggot or a straight or whatever you want to call yourself. We're all the same, and the difference we have are just what gives the world diversity, which is what the word Lebensort Vielfalt means. It means a place to live in diversity.